You were expecting someone else?
T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and welcome back to another video. And this is gonna be not photography related. This is something a bit completely different. But anyway, before I unveil what's under this piece of silk cloth, I have to say, God damn you, David Sawitsky. I mean, the guy from the Bond Experience. If you're a James Bond fan, really look up this guy's channel, because this guy is one of the most hardcore collectors out there. And it was by his channel that I found this one. I mean, for me, there is one particular Bond movie that has certain type of nostalgia, for me at least. But anyway, and by looking at his channel, I saw a prop from this movie, and I thought, I've always wanted that. And now I have it. This is a little bit of a retirement plan / collector's item, because I know there's only a limited number of these in the world. I have one of them, and I really, really think this is really cool. So without further ado, well, what can I say? This is badass in my opinion. It's the CD and launch keys for the Goldeneye satellite. And it's done by Factory Entertainment. I have all the paperwork, you know, certificate of authenticity and so on, but this is, you know, this is just unbelievable. It's the brushed aluminum finish, and it also, I don't know, it might be a little bit bright out here, but it has the LED illumination in the CD case. I mean, when I saw Goldeneye for the first time when I was a kid, that movie came out in 1995, so I was about, you know, 6 or 7 years old when I finally got to see it. And this thing just blew me away when it came out, you know. I mean, it was the first Bond movie that I ever saw that was new to me. I'm an 89. I call myself the Wall generation, the Berlin Wall, that is. So the one that came out was License to Kill, Timothy Dalton's second and last movie. So the first movie I saw that was new in the Bond franchise was Goldeneye. And I remember that I said to myself that CD and those keys, that's so cool. You know, the entire launch sequence and so on. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and I said to myself that someday I want to have that prop. And now I do. And I mean, Factory Entertainment, for those of you who don't know, they have a really cool website with their different stuff. They've done a lot of things, you know, Marvel, DC Comics, Game of Thrones. I think they did something with Stan Lee. And then they have, the Men in Black, Noisy Fly, I think, and Neuralizer. But they also are the specialists in Bond props. And I think one of the first things they did was a run of the Golden Gun, Francisco Scaramanga's Golden Gun. So I think they did it in two versions. One that was just the Golden Gun in a display case like this, and they also did one that was signed by both Christopher Lee and Roger Moore. So those are sold out long ago. But they also did Richard Kiel, Jaws. They made reproduction of his teeth, so the Jaws teeth, and also the Q tracker. You know, the little Homer device that was popularized in Goldfinger. They also made a working replica of that, not working in the way that it sends out a signal, but electronically it still has the sound and so on. So, but this was also still available. So, for every Bond prop they could do, because there is a limited amount they could do when you think about how many movies there is in that franchise, and they choose to do the Goldeneye disc. That's just, I mean, the attention to detail in this is so incredible. I mean, behind here you have the battery cover, and it's similar to the original prop, you know. You have the illumination, and this crystal that is in the middle, that was actually modeled on a doorknob, on all the, you know, everything you can model something on, it's a doorknob. So anyway, this costs a pretty penny, sure, but I would say that this is for collectors. This is an investment. So yeah, really, check out Factory Entertainment. If you have any interest in any of the products that they do, they are well worth it, because the craftsmanship and the attention to detail, and you know, these replicas that they do, I would say that they can be referred to as screen accurate. I mean, something that is screen accurate refers to a prop that wasn't in the movie, but is a faithful reproduction in the minute detail of what was in the movie. So, a little bit of Bond memorabilia, yeah, sure, a bit of nostalgia for me because it's one of my favorites in that franchise, and I mean, it's just cool. So, Tobias Bergstrom, I did it the same here when I was in Frono's Winner. They also butchered my last name, so anyway, Tobias Bergstrom for T.B.Photo X1.52FX, and please, as apparently you're supposed to say on the end on every YouTube video that you do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, everybody and anybody. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care. So long.